I've always found myself drawn to magical girl shows, and this isn't completely for aesthetic reasons. While they normally do have higher budgets, at least in terms of anime, and therefore more fluid animation, and while I value those things a lot, it's not really what intrigues me the most. No, instead, I don't want to simply watch magical girls save the world. I want to be a magical girl saving the world. I've talked rather extensively about my feelings regarding this desire in my I Want to Be Hatsune Miku video, so I won't repeat verbatim what I said there. Instead, I want to narrow the focus and analyze a short film that was sent to me in my Discord, Angelic Kitty Miracle-chan. My hope is that it can help me understand my gender identity better, and thus myself better. We start Miracle-chan with a very cutesy anime sequence, and while it seems inconsequential at first, the lyrics of the song mean a lot here. Transform with the power that all girls hold, and that power is already within you. I don't want to be a girl, I think. And the fact that I even have to question that, to put a I think there, well, I think it says a lot. Confusion would be an understatement, and I would more accurately say that I feel like I can't, even if I did want to. I'm not one to almost ever care what people think about me, but with this, even I care. I just can't cross that threshold into the unknown, into even an exploration into what I feel. I said this in my Miku video, but I honestly do feel as if I start to actually question, truly ask myself these hard questions, then the power would be given to my sexual abusers. And I know it sounds silly, but I've grown up for this long sincerely believing that to like men, in literally any capacity, is to have a fate worse than death. And obviously I'm not against things like, for example, gay marriage. I've always supported it, but that wasn't supposed to be me. It just wasn't. But even more so, I don't know if it can be for me. But to actually conceptualize myself coming out as something like non-binary, well, I simply can't wrap my head around it. Not even completely sure why. So, instead, I will hide away, fantasize about being a magical girl. Because it's easier. It's easier to buy a replica of the wand from Star vs. the Forces of Evil than it is to tell a friend that I may not be straight. Honestly, it's even easier to make this video than to do that. I've seen a lot of people comment on how I'm brave, that I truly do put myself out there in such a way that is rarely seen, that I bare my soul. But honestly, I don't agree with any of that. Because I've just become so disillusioned, so disassociated from myself that making these videos is like speaking into the void. Even though I read comments, even though I've made good friends through this very channel. It's like a separation. I have my online self and my real self. Well, my online self can talk about this stuff literally all day. My real self would actually process a second of it. An iota. I will not have this conversation with friends or family. I will stand up for the rights of LGBTQ+ any day of the week, but I will never identify myself as part of that group. Because if I do, if I were to cross over my online persona with my real self, well, then I would have to acknowledge that part of myself that I just don't want to. At least not yet. The power is already within you, and yet I can't see it. I can't feel it. Transform with the power that all girls have, but I'm not a girl. I can't be. I won't be. And once the anime sequence is over, we cut to reality. Something we don't want to face. We see our protagonist, Alex, as if the film couldn't speak to me more, shaving their legs. Perhaps they want to look more like the anime girl I see on the screen. Or perhaps they've already crossed that line of which I can't bring myself to do. Perhaps they've accepted, at least somewhat, a part of themselves does not adhere to who society has told them they are. But then, blood. The transformation isn't pure. It isn't instant. This moment hit home for me. I think that we want to change any part of ourselves, whether that be like gender identity, sexual orientation, or even a new haircut. We want it to be a smooth transition. There can't be bumps along the way, and we don't want people to question it. Because if there is, or if they do, how do we know this is truly the right path to be taking? If things don't go according to plan, how could we be sure this should be the plan at all? When, in reality, things are never so easy. Change does require pain in this sadly cruel world, and we aren't supposed to falter or show any cracks in the facade as we do it, as we uproot our entire identity. Even if we do it to more align with how we truly feel inside. And even as I say this, that things just aren't easy, I know that if a single friend were to call me out on anything related to gender identity, I would probably crumble. And hey, I'm a pretty tough guy, but not with this. Not with this. Then we have Alex in class, scrolling through their phone on what appears to be some forum site. People basically just venting and shitposting. And honestly, this may be how most people express these frustrations with themselves. Like I said before, speaking into the void can't fix you, it can't guide you, but it can put a band-aid on things. You're not working through the problem, but at least you're expressing something. And whether I realize it or not, there is a person, a real human being on the other side, listening, reading, and, at least in my case, maybe I'm actually helping someone. Sure, I feel as if I can't make a difference in my own life, but maybe I can help someone else out, you know? People that are chronically online usually have some kind of thing going on with their lives, whether that be mental illness or gender dysphoria or even just family troubles. And while some of those online are just plain terrible people, I do have some sympathy for those that, for example, make edgy shitposts on Reddit. We don't have to accept this behavior, but we can try to understand it. That, most likely, someone on the other side is struggling just as much as you are, and they simply aren't sure how else to express it. A friend reaches out to Alex, asking them to hang out. Alex says they're busy that night, which is obviously an avoidance technique. This is illuminating for the character, as they clearly prefer the fantasy over reality. And why is simple. Because in the fantasy, you can literally be whoever you want. You don't have to feel like you're pretending or playing dress up. You don't have to feel like an imposter. In your imagination, you can be anything. I don't want to be a girl, at least as of right now, but I do want to be a magical girl. And I think the reason for this, as I highlighted earlier, is that there is no potentially messy or difficult transition. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone, and at least I wouldn't have to feel like a fat, hairy man in a costume. In the fantasy, you can finally be free, even if your real body's stuck on the ground. During the walk home and in their room, Alex surrounds himself with this anime character. Figures, posters, music, all of it there to block out the noise. Feel the fantasy. Alex tries to put on the costume, but It doesn't fit this body. It won't fucking zipper. And that moment shattered me. To finally put yourself out there to the most important person, yourself. To finally ask these questions. To finally try to live outside of the fantasy. But it doesn't work. It doesn't fit. And then Alex throws it away. They give up. The party seems fun, but we already know Alex won't be in attendance. And then we see them back in their room, surrounded by anime. And as they put their earbuds back in, a cold reality sinks in. They're going back into the fantasy. It didn't work. So, does it have to end like this? I'm not sure, honestly, at least for myself. But I will say this. For all the Alexes out there, don't give up. It didn't work this time. The costume didn't fit. Your real self didn't align with what you want deep down. But the great thing about life is, I think, that we have a lot of time. And in that time, we have a lot of chances to change, to grow, to even transition into someone new. And maybe next time, it'll fit just right. And as always, thank you for watching.